Hello and welcome to Around the Bases. I'm Grant Wall, joined by Winona State baseball coach Kyle Poock. And Coach, it's been a successful couple weeks for you. The Warriors are currently owners of a 9-game winning streak, and after starting the year 5-5, you're now 14-5. After starting that 5-5, kind of feeling your way through some games down in Florida, it seems like the team has really turned a corner. We'll jump into it right there. What's been the difference for you guys over the last couple weeks? It seems like just everything's clicking right now.
Well, you know, our first set of games in Illinois against Parkside in Florida, we hadn't really been outside, and so getting outside, getting your feet going, getting used to being outside, we're going to make some mistakes. Well, now we're in a regular routine. We know we're playing every weekend. We're going to have a midweek game, and guys can get in a regular flow of things. They can look forward to being at the ballpark on a regular schedule, and I think that really helps with them and really focusing, concentrating on baseball because it's a regular schedule.
And even though the two teams that you've played so far in conference play certainly aren't going to challenge for the conference title, you're 8-0, and you've talked about how important every win in the conference is. And so you have to be pleased holding an 8-0 record heading into this week of play. Yeah,
you got to win every game you can in the conference, and because we're gonna end up having some tough weekends coming up here with St. Cloud and then followed by Augie and stuff. But the programs aren't as tough, but because of geography and weather, it works out. We have to play those teams early because they can't play at their place, so that's kind of an advantage for us. But we got to take them, and we'll run with them. We're not going to apologize to anybody for being 8-0.
No, absolutely not. And the highlight of these last couple weeks, definitely Tony Mueller's 15 strikeout performance against Northern State. Strikes out 15 guys, only gives up 1 hit on the game. Sets a new school record with 8 consecutive strikeouts. Just an absolutely overpowering performance from Tony.
Yeah, it was the one and as we were watching from the dugout, you could see early that he had his good fastball. I don't know, because of the weather, I don't know if it's going to be his best fastball, because I think he's going to get a little bit more out of it once the season temperatures warm up, whatever. But he had command of it, and Northern State guys didn't really have a chance, and you could see that early in the game. And I think even if you ask him, I think he only threw 5 or 6 off-speed pitches. Mm-hmm. It was mostly just locating his fastball.
And he backed up that performance, 10 strikeouts his next outing against Minnesota Crookston. But Tony certainly, as well as he's been pitching, certainly not the only highlight of your pitching staff as well. You're getting quality starts game after game after game, and that's obviously a big key to a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah, exactly. And our top 4 guys that are going, Cody Simon has been pitcher of the week twice. He had another good outing this week. John Wanker is finally showing us stuff that we envisioned him doing. He only pitched 5 innings, but he had 11 strikeouts in his outing against Crookston. Andrew D'Souza will be his same steady self he's been. And then last week against St. Thomas, we had Aaron Hoverson, who's going to be a midweek guy for us and could push for one of those top 4 spots. He had a great outing against St. Thomas on Thursday.
And as good as the Warriors have been on the mound, the team's really starting to swing the bat well. In addition to that, giving you a real 1-2 punch there, both offensively and defensively. I've especially been impressed with Jared Anderson. Started the season a little bit slow down in Florida, but he has really come on over the last couple of weeks and swinging the bat as well as maybe anybody in the league.
Yeah, he's finally, I hate to say it, but he's finally listening and buying it. The new bats, we've talked about them before.
Yep.
And, in the past, we fly balls, home runs, do that, and we keep talking to guys. We have to become more line drive hitters, You have to execute with 2 strikes. You got to take a little bit off, put the ball in play, and he's doing the best job of it right now. Some other guys, we're still having some other guys really doing a good job hitting the ball, but Jared, if they watch him, he's really doing the things with what we need to do, and moving runners, getting on base when need to be a leadoff guy, moving runners over, scoring guys, and they get scoring position. So he's doing a great job.
Last week, Warriors hosted Minnesota Crookston, 4 wins, and I know that you've talked a lot about this. Didn't beat Crookston by the margin that some teams have beat them in the past, but it was a chance for you to get a lot of guys some real meaningful at-bats or some meaningful innings on the mound and get everybody a little more comfortable with their positions.
Yeah, I know when people look at this, they're going to say, well, Winona only 10-runned them, and it was 10-0, 11-0, where some teams are going to put up 15, 18, 20 runs on them. But one of the things that I like to pride our program is we have more depth than most every team in the league. I really, truly believe that. And with that depth, we expect them to be able to play at any time. And what we were able to do was get everybody a start. Every position guy got at least 1 start at his natural position. And then, our regular guys had 2 or 3 starts. And then every pitcher, we had 2 pitchers that hadn't got any innings yet. and they got innings, and they both did well. So all of our pitching staff has now been in a game, and get those nerves out of the way, so they should be ready to roll.
Now going forward, 2 games at Upper Iowa on Wednesday, followed by a 4-game series in St. Cloud this weekend. St. Cloud is one of the top teams in the league, and they proved that last week, taking 3 out of 4 from Minnesota State. And so this is really going to be a good barometer for you of where your team is right now.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we play the tough teams in Florida, and we lost some of those games. But we want to gear ourselves early in the season against good competition. So when we do get to our league games, we should be fine. We've played in a tight game, played in close games, so that should help us down the line. Upper Iowa will be tough. They've always been a team that we've had some good battles with them. And playing at Upper Iowa, I don't know what it is down there. It's a tough place, and we've struggled there in the past. And I think last year we won both games there, but we've split with them or been swept down there. So it's and they're always going to be ready to go. Coach Tanker does a great job with them. And then St. Cloud in the weekend. This should be the premier series of the weekend in the NSIC.
Absolutely, and we'll be looking forward to see how the Warriors do up there in St. Cloud and also in Fayette. You mentioned all the wins you can get, and hopefully we'll have some good news and be able to talk about some victories next week as well. We talked about Tony Mueller earlier. Tony's going to join me here on set right after this break. You're watching Around the Bases.
For the best cars, best prices, and best people, get your hoops on the sunny side of Highway 61, Sugarloaf, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury. And speaking of hoops, 3 lucky fans will be drawn in the second half of each game for a chance at a half-court shot, the last home game to win a brand new 2011.
Welcome back to Around the Bases. I'm joined now by Warrior Junior Tony Mueller. And Tony, we talked to Coach Poock earlier a little bit about your 15 strikeout performance against Northern State. Just tell me what it feels like to be on the mound when everything's clicking. It has to be a nice feeling to know that you have complete control over where every one of your pitches is going.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first game all year that I felt like I've had everything going, a full game. It was the first time that I've thrown the first game of the day, so I wasn't playing the outfield, and I felt fresh. And Jamie Soik called a great game. I mean, I think we threw 5 off-speed pitches the whole game, and my fastball, I could throw it where I wanted, when I wanted, and it just showed that day. I mean, it didn't even matter. I didn't think I had all my velocity, but I was just painting corners and paid off and had a big day.
And you were working so quickly because you guys knew what pitch was going to work. It was the fastball, and just all day you were just right down the middle, and then the Northern hitters didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, we were sort of surprised because after watching them hit off Cody and John Wanker, they were swinging their bats a little bit on fastball. So we maybe thought we'd need to throw a few more off-speed pitches. But as the game went on, it was just like strike 1 fastball, strike 2 fastball, and then he'd go corner to corner the rest of the game, and it just went like that. And we were real close to having a perfect game, and it was a real fun game to pitch in.
We talked to Coach Poock earlier about the pitching staff and how well you guys as a group are doing so far this year. But you have a unique advantage. Not only are you a pitcher, but you get to watch them from center field as well. How much confidence does everybody out there in the field have with the pitching staff right now, as everyone is performing really at a high level right now?
Actually, I mean, everyone defensively, from what I've heard, I mean, we're real impressed with the pitching staff. At first coming in, we thought it was going to be all offense, but with these new bats, we've come in, the pitching staff has just been dominant. I mean, you got Cody, who's one of the top arms in the league. You got John, was a little inconsistent his first couple of years. He'd come out of the bullpen, but has been just dominant on the mound. You have Aaron Hoverson, who's, for his first year here, has been unbelievable for us. And, I mean, just down the line, you go down the line, and we've had guys throwing strikes, and that's the biggest thing in this league is throwing strikes.
We'll take you out of the equation. You can't answer yourself for this question, but if there's one guy on the Winona State pitching staff right now that you do not want to have to face, who is it?
I mean, that's an easy question. That's Cody Simon. As a hitter, I hate facing Cody in the fall. I mean, it's just horrible. He throws that side armor. I sometimes just want to hit left-handed off him just because I know I really have no chance right-handed. But that was an easy question.
And he's a guy he's got a sub 1.3 ERA right now. he's been dominant so far, 2 times already the Conference Player of the Week, which you were this week, the NSIC Pitcher of the Week. But he's just a guy who just, like you've talked about already, he just has everything clicking right now, locating all of his pitches, throwing them all for strikes. I mean, just a great guy to have as your, one of your top arms in a rotation.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Cody played with me in lacrosse this summer and lived with me, so I mean, I've gotten to know him over the past couple of years, even on the team and then this summer. And I mean, he's a real quiet kid, but I mean, he's real dominant, and throwing down from the side right there when you can command that, it's real tough to hit.
And switching now from pitching to your offensive side of things, had a big weekend against Crookston, a couple triples, got some real good swings on the bat. It seems like you and several other guys on the team, the offense is really clicking as you're playing some more games. Does playing at home factor into that, or is it just you've gotten some more game time swings under your belt and just kind of the rust has been shaken off and you're really starting to hit some strides?
I would say like this part of the rust being shaken off, because the only guys we really got to see before Florida were our own guys, and I mean, it's tough to hit against your own guys down in the pit. And like Coach Poock said, I mean, we knew the new bats coming in, we're not going to hit home runs like we did last year, and so guys are just working on hitting line drives more, and we've been doing that in batting practice, and it's starting to pay off.
8-0 so far to start the conference schedule. What's your guys' mindset right now as you kind of hit the meat of the schedule, St. Cloud State this weekend, and then going forward? What's your mindset going into some of these games against tougher teams?
I mean, we're going to keep the same mindset as, I mean, you got to win the games. I mean, we're going to try taking 3 or 4 every weekend from here on out. Hopefully we start off by taking 2 tomorrow against Upper Iowa, but we've had St. Cloud on our list since we got knocked out by them in the regional. It's going to be a big game, and we're really looking forward to playing them.
Well, and we're looking forward to seeing how you guys match up. It's going to be a great weekend of baseball in St. Cloud, and it'll be good to get the Warriors back here in town once that series is over. We will be right back here on Around the Bases. Coach Jones of the softball team will be with us, talk a little bit about their dominating performance this past weekend.
Fear of financial endeavors causing putting off till the day after tomorrow that which should have been done the day before yesterday.
If you have financial startophobia, I would recommend Merchants Bank. I had a little touch of financial startophobia, had a good recommendation, and went to the bank and had a great experience. Merchants Bank has personal service. I'm not afraid of anything. They've been around for over 130 years. You know who you're dealing with. Merchants Bank, the bank that services.
The Warrior Club is the fundraising arm for Winona State University that helps students like me succeed in the classroom and on the court.
By donating $100 or more, you can become a member of the Warrior Club and help Winona State student-athletes achieve the extraordinary. Call 507-457-2705 or visit WinonaStateWarriors.com. Every member.
Back to Around the Bases here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm joined now by Winona State softball coach Greg Jones. And Coach, I don't think there's any other way to put this. Just an absolute dominating performance by your Warriors in 2 wins over Minnesota Crookston on Saturday and then 2 more wins over MSU Moorhead on Sunday. The way you guys are swinging the bats right now, just did whatever you wanted to against both of those teams.
Yeah, I was happy with our offense. I thought offensively, I thought we had a good approach at the plate. One of the things we've been talking to our kids all year about is 1 at bat at a time, have that approach, don't worry about the outcome and the results. And I thought they did that. They put good swings on it all weekend long. Crookston pushed us a little bit in game 1. I thought we responded very well. Kathy had a great game to get us on the board early and to finish it off late. And then the next 3 games to win by the 8-run rule 3 straight times. Again, I just thought, defensively we had to do what we needed to do too to keep them down. But we swung the bats well, and we scored a lot with 2 outs, which is something we hadn't done all year long.
And scoring with 2 outs, especially in that first game against Moorhead, 10 runs with 2 outs in the first inning. Dallas gets on a leadoff base hit, and then to have Molly Link and Molly Bjelland both get out. I'm sure you weren't thinking about putting a 10 spot up that inning with 2 outs. But the offense responded. Kim Wachholder, who we'll talk to a little bit later, hits a big 3-run homer. And then Molly Bjelland comes up later in the inning, hits a grand slam of her own. So the effort and what they did with 2 outs there was just absolutely unbelievable.
It was. I really thought the swing at bat of the inning was going to be Molly Link. When we got the leadoff hit and we chose not to try to move Dallas, I thought, well, let's let Molly hit and see what we can do. And I wasn't trying to get a big inning. I just thought, see if we can get a couple hits in a row for the middle of our order. And Kathy had been swinging the bat so well, I thought we can buy some time trying to get down to that spot in the order. And Molly struck out on an inside pitch and swinging, and I thought, oh man, that could change how this inning goes. And you know, we were down to 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on when Kim hit the home run, and I didn't know if it was going to go or not. You're just kind of, you know, wishing it out of the ballpark, and then even at that point, like I said, never crossed my mind we put 7 more up. It was usually home runs can be rally killers, and you've got your 3 and you move on, and you know, we just came up with one good at bat after another. Worked a couple walks, had some line drive base hits, worked some balls into the gap. They walked Molly in front of Molly Bielen then to lead to the grand slam, and that was kind of the final dagger.
Mm-hmm. And any time you put 10 runs up in an inning, you're getting contribution from everyone. And it wasn't just that one half inning. You've been getting contribution 1 through 9 in the lineup for the last few weeks now. It has to be so nice for you as a coach to know that everybody in your lineup is swinging the bat well.
It is, and what the nice part is, you know that every inning you have an opportunity to score runs. That when you spend so much time at third base trying to think 2 innings ahead at times, and both offensive and defensive. Okay, where are they at in their order? What do we need to do? Where are we at in our order? What can we do? And from that standpoint, you can start every inning feeling like, okay, we've got an opportunity to get something started. You know, I was trying to get to the top or middle part of the order, and you know, right now our 6, 7, 8 hitters are going as well as our 1, 2, and 3 hitters, and that really helps.
And so many of your players had big weekends. We'll highlight one of them, Kathy Crudo, 4 for 4 in the opener against Crookston. 2 home runs, drove in all 4 of your runs as well, including the huge walk-off home run that won the game. Goes on, has just a great weekend. I think 8 for 10 was her final tally. Gets on base 10 of the 12 times that she goes to the plate. It obviously earns Conference Player of the Week for her efforts, but just a fantastic entire weekend from someone who was consistently putting great swings on the ball.
Well, what Kathy does really well is she takes every at-bat, and she gives a maximum effort on every single at-bat. She goes up there to get a hit every time she walks to the plate. And it's not that other people don't. I think other people obviously want to have success in their at-bat, but their mind can be in a lot of different places, where Kathy's focus is pretty simple. See ball, hit ball. Yeah. And I'm gonna swing as hard as I can. I'm gonna put everything I can on it, and that approach has always been effective for her. You know, there are times I wish more of our kids would have her approach and her mindset up there. But she had a great weekend, and I knew when we went to the 7th inning of that game, I liked where we were at in our lineup at that point. I felt like, you know, you're not assuming you're going to get a home run, a walk-off home run, but you knew you had, you know, Molly and Kathy coming up and Kim following, that you had a shot at something like that. And Kathy put a good swing on it, left the park, but like I said, then the rest of the weekend, offensively, she was really locked in very well.
And not only is she swinging the bat so well right now, but she's managing a pitching staff that you knew what you had in Courtney Strang at the top of the rotation, an ace, one of the best pitchers in the league. Stacy, coming back from injury, was still a question mark. And then below that, you didn't really know what you had. And Michelle Lund, a freshman, has done a fantastic job stepping in and taking some starts and is really pitching well right now.
Yeah, I've said a number of times in the last couple of weeks, where would we be without Michelle? Mm-hmm. And you know, we knew Stacy was a question mark coming off the injury to begin with, but it looked like everything was progressing in the right direction. We obviously had a setback with that, and she hasn't thrown now in 3 weeks, and the question mark remains as we go forward. And you know, Michelle's just done a great job. And Michelle was a kid that walked on. She tried out for the team, and the last night of tryouts. Up until the last night of tryouts, we were going to cut her. And the very last night, she had a great performance against us. I thought, we need to keep this kid and give this kid an opportunity. At that point then, I still didn't envision where we are now with her, and she's thrown great innings for us, and she's got great composure on the mound. She's a tremendous competitor for us, and we're just very fortunate because she's going to have to throw a lot of meaningful innings down the stretch for us as well.
And then Courtney had a huge game against Crookston, struck out 13. And she's really solidified her place. We knew how good she was coming into the year, but she's really solidified that place as one of the top couple pitchers in this conference.
I thought the best part about Courtney's weekend was that she had 13 strikeouts in that Crookston game and wasn't even close to being her best. She really labored early in that game. She knew it, I knew it, our pitching coach knew it, and we were all kind of trying to work through it together. All the while she's striking kids out, but she couldn't locate very well. She didn't have a very good rhythm, and she just looked like she was forcing the ball. And I took a trip to the mound there at one point and had a little bit of a conversation with her, and that's not what changed things, but we were just trying to settle her in, basically, was the big thing. About the second half of the game, about the fourth inning, she finally got comfortable. Again, all the while she was striking out 1 or 2 an inning without her best stuff, and then really then settled into a nice rhythm after that, and was dominant the rest of the weekend again for us. So I'm not exactly sure what her numbers are right now, but again, she's truly pitching like the ace of the staff.
And now going forward, a couple games you're supposed to be actually playing in St. Cloud on Tuesday. Those games are postponed, get made up later due to a wet field and some adverse weather conditions up there in that part of the state. So next up for you is a doubleheader Saturday against Upper Iowa, and then you really start moving into the meat of the conference schedule. What are you guys looking to do here as you move forward to continue on the role that you've gotten yourself onto?
One game at a time. We got to show up and play as hard as we can against Upper Iowa. We've got to continue doing what we've been doing. You try to win with pitching and win with defense, and hope that the offense can come through in clutch situations. And right now again it's hard because we played a nice 6-game stretch, and now you sit back, you take a day off. On Monday you practice for 4 days again, play a game, sit a day, practice a couple days, but so all you can do is approach it one day at a time. You got to give your best effort every single day and hope that that's good enough. And just like we talk about our kids with their at bats or our pitchers on the mound, the results will take care of themselves. You just got to focus on the process and hope that we're working hard every day and doing the right work, whether it be in the weight room or in the batting cages or on the field or on game day. And we can't control Mother Nature, so as frustrating as the spring has been, hopefully we can keep somewhat of a rhythm and somewhat of a flow. But we're looking forward to playing Saturday. I tell you, Alumni Field has become a great environment for us, and the crowds, the music, the PA, everything. It's a great place to play as long as we can keep doing our part on the field.
Absolutely, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there on Saturday, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you out there as well. 1 o'clock Alumni Field here on Saturday. The Warriors host Upper Iowa. Will be 2 great games as the Warriors can try to continue that run that they've gotten themselves on here early on in the NSIC season. And we will be right back. One more segment here on Around the Bases. Kim Wachholder, the junior for the Warriors, will join me, talk a little bit about her first year here in Winona.
Thanks to the Warriors Club, I will be graduating with a degree in movement science from Winona State University.
By donating $100 or more, you can become a member of the Warrior Club and help Winona State student-athletes achieve the extraordinary. Call 507-457-2705 or visit WinonaStateWarriors.com. Every member.
Fans, to stay up to date on all your favorite Warrior teams, players, and coaches, be sure to visit WinonaStateWarriors.com. WinonaStateWarriors.com is your source for scores, videos, tickets, and more. Here's your chance to support the Warriors. The Warrior Club provides support for nearly 400 student-athletes competing in 14 NCAA Division II varsity sports at Winona State University. For more information on how you can get involved, visit WinonaStateWarriors.com.
Welcome back to Around the Bases. I'm joined now by Warrior junior Kim Wachholder. Kim, a junior, you play a little bit of third base, play a little DP, but you're always in the Warrior lineup, and you've been off to a great start offensively, both personally and as a team. How nice is it to have everyone in your lineup, 1 through 9, swinging the bat so well?
It's kind of relaxing. Like, you don't feel as much pressure on yourself because you go up there and you know if you take a bad swing, you have your teammates to back you up. And so, like, it's kind of more relaxing that way, but it's also awesome to see everyone have so much success. So it's really fun.
And you personally, you had a huge home run in the first game against MSU Moorhead this last weekend. Part of a 10-run Warrior first inning. Got all 10 of those runs with 2 outs. leadoff runner gets on, then Molly Bjellen and Molly Link both get out. That doesn't happen very often to begin with, but then with 2 outs, you have 10 runs that are still scored in that inning. Have you ever seen, in all of your softball experience, have you ever seen an inning like that?
No. I've not in even in Little League that really happens, but I know Coach always says to take 1 pitch at a time, so that's just what we did. I don't even think we even thought there was 2 outs. We just went up there and swung hard and made things happen.
And it was off your bat that things got started first. You hit a 3-run homer in that inning. When you're at the plate, what are you looking for in a pitch that you can really drive? What do you want to see the pitcher do, and your eyes get as big as saucers and go, oh, no, she made a mistake and I'm going to make her pay?
I personally like to see a nice, big, fat inside pitch. I've always thought I had quick hands, just go get the inside pitch, but that pitcher just made a mistake and threw it right down the middle, so I capitalized off it.
And then made another mistake later in the inning. Molly Bjellen hits a grand slam home run. So just a fantastic offensive outburst for the Warriors as you took 4 games, 2 from Crookston on Saturday and then 2 more from Moorhead on Sunday. How nice was it for you to get off to that 4-0 start to start conference play?
It's just, I don't know, like I said, it was probably just more relaxing now that we're getting into conference. Before, it's not like the games didn't matter, but now it's just like we're racing to get that title. So it's very nice to start off 4-0, have that, not really comfort zone, but just to have that success. It's just nice.
And you're making a transition from Northern Iowa, spent your first 2 years of college down there, 2 here in Winona, at Winona State. How's the change gone so far for you personally?
Very smoothly. I love all the girls on my team. Everyone's so nice. I couldn't have had a better transition. Everyone backs me up. Everyone supports each other. I love the team. It's awesome.
And that camaraderie really shows on the field. 20-3 right now, ranked 11th in the most recent national polls. Did you think this team was going to have so much success this early in the season?
I came to this program because I knew it was very successful in the past, and I was really hoping we'd find that success, and we have. So in a way, I'm not surprised, but I just liked how the way the team is clicking and we're winning, playing together. So I don't know. I just like it.
Been through 1 weekend so far of conference play, and now as you move forward, what are your goals, or what's the mindset of this team right now as you start to really get into the heart of the NSIC conference?
I think we just need to play every game the same. Whether it's Crookston or whether it's Mankato, we just need to come out and play our hardest and how we know how to play. Like Coach says, be who we are and just hit the ball, have fun, and just win some games.
Absolutely, and it'll be great fun to watch you as you march down through the rest of the conference season. That's all the time we have for Around the Bases here today. Thank you very much for joining me, and we'll see you next week here on the Warrior Sports Network.